Welcome back, family, to the Back Issue Book Club.
Yes.
I'm Greg. That's Rich.
I'm Rich.
You're Rich.
I'm Rich. You're Greg.
Hey.
We're back.
This week, we took a little break because I was sick, and then I had a big work commitment, so apologies, but we're back at it. This week we had the follow-up to the previous one, which was Nova Volume 1, Collection 1. This is Nova Volume 1, Collection 2. It was Nova numbers 13 through 19.
Yep.
And then a little bit of sprinkling of a couple Fantastic Fours and a couple Defenders.
Yeah, Defenders 62 to 64. Fantastic Four Annual number 12, I think it was. And and what the heck was the other one? Something. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Defenders 62 to 64, Fantastic Four Annual 12, and Marvel 2-in-1 Annual 3.
Right. Sorry.
That's okay. It was, well. All right.
Yeah.
Collection 2. This was, I'm going to just come out and say it. This series, this Nova series is getting rough.
Yeah. I mean,
It's feeling like homework.
I'm going to cast my vote right now that we punt Series 3.
I'm with you there. Unless we get some weird feedback that people want us to do it, I'm with you 100%. This is tough.
Look, you must want us to do it because there's something redeeming in the story. You can't want us to do it because you want to punish us.
You totally can.
Yes, I think I will have Timo Hanna reading Nova.
Is that you, Yellow Claw?
Oh, God. I mean, every 70s
that right
villain
there, what you
that
were doing,
sucks.
Yeah, right there, what you were doing is exactly what it was in the book. Yes, my machine will send a tidal wave and destroy New York City.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And reading some of the phrases that I can almost hear my grandfather saying them, Gadzooks! What the hell?
Blue Blazes.
Well, Blue Blazes I kind of got used to already at this point, but
That's true.
I mean, some of the stuff that came out of Nick Fury's mouth.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what I did enjoy about the second, all of it so far, and I think reading this is my first ever Nick Fury reading, and he was it was interesting. I didn't love it, but
I think he was the best character out of what we read.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this. It's funny that we both came to that same conclusion. But even still, he was like, shoot that gun like you never had a mother left to you, sons of guns, you liver-lilied peanuts.
I read him with a Popeye voice.
Because
I really did, yeah.
And we had more pink guns.
Yep.
There was at one point they had pink guns, and I was like, "Hey, I know. When I see pink gun, I think Nick Fury, Spider-Woman."
First cover of was it Marvel Spotlight 32? I think it is.
Something like that. Yeah, Nick Fury's got his pink pistol.
Yep.
So, but yeah, man, this is. I read through the Novas, and then I got to the Defenders, and it was just so. It was too goofy.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know what's going on. Every panel, it all just blended together, and I was just like, what's happening?
Yeah, it actually made me wonder, was I that easy to please as a child? I always thought of myself as an intelligent child, and now reading this going, yes, I used to read these books, I start to doubt my own self-worth.
This is how I ended up the way I am.
Whoa.
That's what happened. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, that was bad. And then the Fantastic Four Annual was, like you said, friggin' long because it's an annual. And only the last third had anything to do with Nova because the what was that Egyptian enemy from the first volume, the Sphinx?
Yeah.
he came back and was like doing whatever, fucking around.
Yep. But even that was still had more to do with Nova than the whole Defenders run.
Yeah, that I don't know why they included that in the collection.
Because you have to see Richard Rider go and ride
a
a horse. Take
Richard
a horse that
Rider
doesn't
horse.
belong to him.
Richard Rider horse.
I get it.
So there's that, and then the 2-in-1 with the Thing was just like, let's get this over with. He was trying to fight this non-verbal giant alien, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta pound this guy." Ooh, boom, boom. Kept trying to fight him, and it was just.
Well, to me, that was kind of like the biggest books that sold well for the Thing-related ones, where anytime that he had to fight the Hulk. So, like, well, we need another stupid, strong guy.
Green, too. So, that happened. I think we got Nova in space, like, once. Maybe?
Yeah, and I found so many inconsistencies. You know, his spacesuit is rated... I mean, his suit is rated for space travel, but in one of the issues, he's freezing. Space is absolute zero. It doesn't get any colder than that.
Right. Yeah. So there was that. And then at the last issue, I think 19, introduced the Blacklight.
Yeah.
Was that his name? And that was just...
Weird.
More hokey garbage.
But he's still alive in the Spectrum, so he can come back someday.
Yes.
It's like the Phantom Zone.
Oh. Phantom Zone.
Yes.
But yeah, so this is going to probably be a pretty short episode.
That's okay. I mean, they don't all have to be super long, and when we have a long episode, it's because there's a lot of redeeming things to talk about with the issue. Here we have a volume of issues, and I'll be honest, I just read them today, and my mind is like, no, I'm not wasting brain space to store this information.
Yeah, it was just a lot of like, this is my face in my head when I'm reading.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to us, just imagine what looks like.
Yeah, and I can't tell my girlfriend, but I'm still having problems, and my dad's a criminal.
Yeah, that whole like, Dad had to turn to the mafia for the bills to pay the bills, and then he got incarcerated.
And we don't know what his crime was.
Yeah, I never went into it. And then there was a whole thing about like, who's the jock? I forget his name. It doesn't
Mike.
matter. Yeah, he the German henchman was like, I'm gonna kill your brother or something. You got to do those crimes for me, and they forced him to do some weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're this super powerful organization, and your best option is a gymnast in high school. Really?
What else? There was
maybe you got somebody who has a college gymnast. I mean, he was good enough to get a scholarship.
There's also the Sandman from Spider-Man.
I actually got excited when I saw him. I'm like, hey, a criminal that's actually worthy.
He was dressed differently than I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him dressed like that before. He wasn't in the classic khakis and green stripes.
Well, remember, this is the late 70s. You know, everybody was going through disco fever, so.
Yeah. So, it was just a scatter shot every week or every month, I guess. It was just a different whatever, even if it was subtly connected each time. It was just like crazy all over the place. And I was like, I'm wasting time reading this.
Well, I can deal with the Novas. Okay, I actually went through those, and it wasn't. You know, I guess I'm used to it from the first volume.
Yeah.
But when I got to the Defenders, I read the Defenders, and I was like hearing the sound effects from the 1966 Batman TV series in my head. Quick, to the Hellcat mobile.
Yeah, exactly.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's just too hokey.
No, we're the defenders. No, we're the real defenders. You know, the cops are like, you've been in prison for 12 years. You're a criminal. And the cops I was reading with Irish accents, all right, that's it. You're all under arrest. Out to the station house.
First catch this Frisbee that I'm throwing.
Hulk doesn't like Frisbee.
Hulk, throw Frisbee.
Oh, you had to throw it so hard on me.
Sorry, sword girl.
Who is it?
Valkyrie.
Is it Valkyrie? Yeah.
But I kind of like that interaction, though, because it made me think of the Avengers, so. Angry girl.
Who is the de facto leader at this time?
Nighthawk.
I never heard of this guy.
I don't
Doesn't
know,
matter.
but man, he was a jerk.
Yeah.
I understand you're pissed off at Dollar Bill in the house, but all the other people are actually heroes. At least have a little bit of professional respect. Say, sorry,
Absolutely.
guys, this was an unauthorized promo. We're not hiring right now. Sorry to waste everybody's time. If you'd like to stick around for some of the world's worst coffee, that you're welcome to it.
Yeah, so...
And Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and then somebody else, they all left. And the other guy that left, he's like, actually, I only do this if I get paid, so I'm out of here. I'm like, then you're not really a hero, you're a mercenary. But respect.
I calls them like I sees them.
In case anybody's wondering, this actually is just coffee.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know if I have too much else to say. Just... like we said, I think we're done with this run of Nova.
Yeah, I mean, maybe someday I'll read the rest of the Nova only episode issues, and I'm not going to go and do the rest because I'm just out of curiosity to see if he gets more cosmic-ish before the end of the run, and if his Ginger actually succeeds in getting into Richard's pants because that's all she seems to care about. I mean, where were these women when I was failing in high school?
I know. At this point, we're only 6 issues left in the run, so I'm with you. I'm like, I kind of want to wrap it up, but I'm more interested in the modern Sam Alexander Nova, I think.
Yep.
And I think that's where it gets really kind of acclaimed. But
well, then I will put on our list for some day, not anytime soon, the Marvel .1 of his first appearance. So we'll see how well they introduced that character.
yeah,
That's
and
my
how
nomination for an episode.
how he gets the mantle too. I'm curious about that. What did y'all think?
What I think, okay, so of the Nova issues that I read alone, I'm actually
Yes.
going to give that like a 5.5 or 6. It wasn't, I was getting used to that kind of reading. So, and I think it grew a little bit. It started getting a little bit better. I did notice that the writers of the issues I never heard of, so apparently they were fired really quickly. But Jim Shooter was still in charge at that time, and he let it sneak through. So, but once I hit the Defenders and the Fantastic Four and everything else, the overall arc, I got to lower the whole thing down to a 3.5. It was hard to get through.
Yeah.
And Defenders 3 issue alone, that's getting a 2. That was just brutal.
It was brutal. That was so hard. I'll give it a 5.0, just the Novas. And the other parts are just garbage.
CGC, no grade.
No grade. NG. And I don't mean any disrespect for people that like that stuff. It's just, for me, I can't do it. It's too rough and it's too hokey for me. So for our next podcast, we're going to be reading Department of Truth, the first volume, which consists of issues 1 through 5 from James Tynion IV and Werther Della,
I believe, yes.
or is he?
I think it just says the cover art. I don't know.
Oh, Martin Simmons, my fault.
Yeah, Deladera just says cover art.
And I think he does also the interior for the one children.
Ah, okay, yeah.
That's why I got confused. Because Tinian is all over the place. World Tree, this, that, and the other.
Tiny onions.
Yes. So if you'd like to follow along with us, check out issues 1 through 5 of Department of Truth. And this is actually good. This is a good call because this is one of those comics that when I first started getting into comics was like, oh, Department of Truth. Ah. So it's got a little space rent free in my head. So I'm excited to check it out.
I'd like to make one other quick point about the Nova and Defenders and stuff like that.
Sure.
When we first started talking about it, I said that I can't believe that I actually found that entertaining as a kid.
Yeah.
But if you think of, let's just say, horror films. Horror films in the 1930s and 1940s, we watch them today, and you'd let a 2-year-old watch it, and, you know, it's not scary at all. But at that time, people were losing sleep.
That's true.
Horror films in the 70s, you know, came out, and they were not, you know, they were extremely scary at that time to what people were used to.
I remember my dad talking about seeing Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
And just being like, dude, people were like crying outside the theater and couldn't go to sleep. And
I saw it. I thought it was funny. Like, yeah, split pea soup. Cool. So, but
that just illustrates your point.
Yeah, but I mean, if you would like go back in time and play an issue of like Insidious, you'd put people into comas in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
So by the standards at that time, these books were entertaining. It's what people were used to. We're reading the books for today, and you can't go back in time and expect the same level of fulfillment.
Yeah, that's true.
So anybody that did read these books when they were a kid and liked them, me being one of them, you know, I'm not trying to insult anybody. It's just that I can't fathom, after reading what's available today, it's kind of like, you know, I'm scared by some of the movies that come out, you know, jump scares and whatnot. But I can't believe that, you know, as a kid, I was scared by It's Alive and Parasite.
Well, by the same token, Power Rangers right here. Mm-hmm. I just watched the first episode just pretty recently, and I was like, this is horrible. This is so bad. But, you know, I remember when it first started, I was just like, this is amazing.
Well,
it was so awesome. So, yeah, I mean, it's true. It's all relative.
Yeah, to the other forms of entertainment that were comparable at the time. But it didn't age well. How about that?
Yeah, that works.
I mean, you watch the movie Jaws. Jaws is still, that's a timeless movie. That works.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm done with my spiel.
Be sure to check us out on YouTube at Team Ohana. Check us out on Instagram at Team Ohana Family. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon if you want exclusive access to extra information that's not present on YouTube. If you want access to our watch-alongs, I think we're going to start doing Sweet Tooth season 2 over there soon. And if you want to vote on polls and to participate in virtual meetups and bloopers and gags and goofs and just updates in our personal lives and anything else I can think of to throw up on there, I do. And it's only $3 a month, so it's not too bad. What else? Every Wednesday, we get New Comic Book Day. Rich is probably giving away hundreds of dollars at this point worth of free comics and shipping. So
I think I've broken the 1,000 mark by now.
Well, yeah, probably.
You figure I'm spending $25 a week, 50 weeks. That's over 1,000 right there. We've been doing it for 2 years. So
anyway, it's free for you. Bad for him. Good for you. Tune in. Get some free stuff. Did I miss anything, sir?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
T-shirts on Etsy.
Yes. Check out our link tree with our Etsy shop. Rich has got the amazing, if I do say so myself, Submarinara shirt. And we also have our hats like this. And a smattering of colors. And regular Team Ohana shirts. Yep. So check us out. And until we see you next week, family, mahalo.